Yeah. Beat by me, beat by me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta toot my own horn every now and again, let people know kind of what I do a little bit, you know.
Just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You've been and threw that thing together, you know what I'm saying? Put the production on point. I
Y-
dig it.
yeah. You know, I'm in the lab, especially after last episode. You know, with the great guest that we had, Gil
Yeah.
Gatsby. You know what I'm saying? I got to get him a beat so he can lace maybe an intro for us. We're not sure yet, but we're hoping for that. We're hoping for that.
Put some bars on that joint.
Yeah, definitely. Well, welcome to the Fiyah Session, y'all. Episode 193, the gym life. And you know what? I said gym life because, I was thinking about working out in the gym. You know, people are always shouting gym life on social media, and they ain't even in the gym like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just something sexy to say. But today we have a special guest, and she's really a gym because her name is Crystal Powell. Really a gym. How about
Thank
that?
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. We got some great stuff to talk about today. Y'all already know we put the medicine in the candy. We trying to give y'all some entertainment, but we gonna educate y'all as well. Every episode, some way, some form, somehow we gonna do it. And y'all know we gonna cut up a little bit. So y'all stick with us. Y'all jump in the comments and let us know if y'all have any questions or anything like that. Because today we definitely want to help you. So
Facts.
before we get going, y'all know we got to make sure everybody's good, everybody's in the right mindset before we get going. So, our special guest, Miss Crystal Powell, how are you doing today, mentally, emotionally, physically? You good?
Yes, I feel great. Everything is pretty much aligned. Thank you for having me on this show. Hopefully, I can drop some gems for you guys, some takeaways, and hopefully free some people from, some financial stress and get them on the road to financial freedom. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might be helping us too. You never know because we can never know too much. And you know what's crazy about this show is we have
Mhm.
people come on the show to help educate everybody, including us. And I trust me, every episode we've done, all 193 plus, with everything in between the supplements, we have learned a wealth of stuff from our guests. So we're
Fact.
looking forward to it as well.
Fact.
Okay.
All right, Benji Banks, the man, the brand. How you doing today, my brother?
What's up with it, man? I'm good. When your things progressing, when you put your hands to something, whether it be in its infancy stage and you see it grow and blossom and you're like, oh shoot, I did that. Like I worked on that every day. I worked on that. I worked on that. I was dedicated to making sure that this kind of looked this way, and then it comes out. It don't look like a monster, but it looks nice. And then, when people pull up on you, they be like, it looks nice in here. It puts that smile on your face. You know what I'm talking about? And that's kind of the space where I'm in, where putting everything together for the shop, getting that squared away and making sure that that looks, how I want it. And to have that feeling, man, has been dope, because people walking, oh, I ain't seen this. I ain't, wow, boy, look good in here. Then, I stick out my chest a little bit. So that's
Mhm.
excitement right there. I'm feeling right. So that's about it.
Yeah, man. Benji with the beauty supply shop slash beauty shop slash a barber shop slash everything shop. You know what I'm saying? One stop shop for real, for real. So if you're out in the Cali area, and you need some help with the beautification process of any way, any sort, you need locks, all that stuff. You need some of you brothers, y'all want that man unit, y'all want that rug on top of your head that lines up, get it lined up. Benji and them could help you with that, man.
Make sure you come and spit. Make sure you got your coins ready. You get what I'm saying? I'm thinking about offering an afterpay. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we'll think about that. But end of the day, man, yeah, to put all of that together and have it the way I want it has been dope, man. So that's got me like on a high. So I'm good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
yeah, that afterpay might be needed for that man unit because I heard they pretty pricey, bro. I heard that process is pretty pricey. So you
Better
know,
better believe it, folks. But, you know, brothers out here, you know what I'm saying? They into catfishing too, ladies. Don't y'all fool around out here, you know, talking about you get catfish, you know what I'm saying? See me, Ken, if this hairline continues to go backwards, as the country folks would say, backwards, not they left the W out. If they if this I'm gonna have to shave it all off, dog. I can't.
yeah, well, I tell people all the time, man, if you're a dude, don't end up like Stephen A. Smith, man. Go ahead and put your hand on your forehead. If your hairline is beyond your fingers on both sides, it's time. It's time to go ahead and let it go.
Let it go.
And you got to come all the way back here with your hand. Just
Yeah,
go.
with your salute, you saluting from the middle of your forehead, and your forehead, you got more forehead than head. Nah,
Just
you
go.
just go ahead. Yeah, I got to that point, and I don't even hat fish none of that stuff. I like hats because it protects my head. I'm in Texas, and it gets really hot most of the year, so I have an assortment of hats. But I do not care about wearing my ball dome out for the world to see. So I ain't getting no man unit. And if I do get one, it'll be on some joke stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just to be cutting up and just to be creating content with it. But I ain't trying to hide my bald head. I love my head. I love my bald head. So it's all good.
I mean, but you know, here's the crazy part though, fam. Here's the crazy part though, is the process of getting that joint put on is hilarious.
Mhm.
Glue, fam, the whole head wig glue. Listen, bold hold. Listen, whoever created bold hold wig got to be a billionaire. I'm telling you, this little thing is about like that big, fam. And that thing costs like 30 something dollars, 40, almost $40. That much, bro. That much. It's about that big. About 1 ounce.
Yes.
Get it. I'm just mad. I didn't think of it. Because all that time I was putting glue on my hands in school and didn't realize that we could use some of that for heads. I mean, I'm just saying, man. It breaks your heart when you let see things.
Yo, I feel you because it's a lot of people came up with a lot of great ideas and are very rich. And you look at those ideas, and you be like, you know what? I used to think of the same thing, but I just didn't have the resources nor the knowledge to get it off the ground. So anybody out there with ideas and things like that, man, hey, now this best time than ever because you have a wealth of knowledge available to you with Google and the internet and AI and all this other stuff. So ain't no excuse no more. If you got
That's
great
true.
ideas, make it happen, man. Because I guarantee you, for everything that you think about, there's somebody else out there thinking about trying to buy
Facts.
it. You already got customers waiting on something that ain't even been created yet.
Yep.
Facts. That's why we got Miss Crystal with Crystal Vision on the show. Because some of y'all got some great ideas. You just ain't got your financials in order to put toward that thing. You get what I'm saying? See, you thought of bold hold wig blue because you was bald headed and you know it, but you didn't have the resources together. You didn't have your credit little shindig together, and you couldn't support that thing. And then you went and shared it with somebody. They stole your idea. So now we got Crystal Vision on to talk about this thing. Because listen, that ain't the only idea you had. And you need to put some money behind that thing, but you got to be right first. You got to be right.
Mhm. Yep.
That's a fact. All right, so let's jump into who is Crystal Powell. Crystal, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background, whatever you want to share with us, what set you claim, so on and so forth.
Okay.
On the
Um,
So we also have Miss Trisha Michelle joining us. Boom.
topic.
Hey guys.
Go ahead.
Hi guys. Hold on real quick. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got Crystal Powell joining us. I think her camera is a little frozen, but you all know on live streams that occurs at certain points. So we will get her back on the screen as soon as we can. But as Benji was saying, we love to get guests on to talk about things that are going to be beneficial to you all.
Yes, sir.
And she has a wealth of knowledge in the area of finances and credit repair. So hopefully we can tell you
Hey,
something today that can help
Patricia.
your life.
All right.
All right, so
Okay,
Crystal,
I'm
we got you
here.
back now. So tell us a little bit about who you are
So,
and your
I
background.
think we was getting to who is Crystal Powell.
Mhm.
I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. But I want to say what put me in this industry initially is I was one of those young adults that was put out of the house at an early age. So I had to learn life early. I was a single mom, and I prematurely had kids at an early age.
Did she freeze again?
Yeah, I think she froze again.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, this is
A little
now
Can you
this
hear
is
stir.
me?
yeah,
Okay.
Just a
you
little
froze.
froze.
Yeah,
You
you
froze.
Okay.
just
Okay, so yeah, going back to who I am and what kind of birth Crystal, who Crystal Powell is. I was one of those teenagers that was out in the world at an early age, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out, credit and what to do with it. So yeah, so I had to learn how to, do some of the basic necessities, which would include housing, getting a car, getting my license, finding a job, all of those things between the age of 17 and 18. My mother initially had a credit repair company in the 90s. So in the 90s, you could basically call Equifax, Experian, TransUnion and have them remove these items. Um, so as I began to work, which everybody want to be an entrepreneur, I thought to myself, what should I do? Like, what type of business should I have? And I remember my late mother having a credit repair company, and so I said, I can start a credit repair company. Started the credit repair company while I was in property management. So I was I managed high rises in Buckhead and properties around all over Atlanta. But I noticed what these people needed more than anything was credit. And so as I would work at these properties, I mean, I started this in 2016. So as I would work at these properties, I would just drop the little knowledge on people. Hey, I fix credit. Hey, give me a call. And my business just began to grow as I worked at each property. I'm telling you, I was marketing, okay? I was marketing these things. And so eventually these people began to follow me all over the place. They would be like, hey, remember in 2016 you helped me get an apartment? And ultimately I got these people to like me, know me, and trust me. So I am a mother. I have an 18-year-old daughter and I have a set of twins who are 14 coming up in the world. But my 18-year-old daughter now has a 750 credit score. So some of the things that I've encountered, she won't have to encounter. And then
Yeah.
hopefully this perpetuates all through the bloodline and the generations. Okay. But thanks to my late mom that I am able to sit here today and kind of carry the torch to her legacy
I think she froze again.
yeah, I think she froze
and
again.
Okay.
yeah, it's expanded. I've built the company. So shout out to my team, Crystal Vision. Shout out to my amazing team, you guys. If you guys are watching this, thank you so much. But I do have an amazing team behind me. They're thoroughbreds. We get the job done. We are result driven. So that is who Crystal Powell is. That's who I am.
Amen. All right. I like that.
Yeah.
Hold on, but
Right.
I gotta mention this. I know I'm not the only one thinking this. She said she has an 18-year-old
Yeah.
child. I'm like,
How old are you?
Homegirl, you look like you just a little bit older than 18 yourself. You look like
Look,
you,
I be
you know
so
what I'm saying?
used to
You
it. I'm
rocking
over
the
here like,
20s.
yes, we
Yes,
relate.
I do have
Mine
an
is
18-year-old daughter.
14 and 20. I'm over here like, yes, you
Oh,
understand.
wow. Okay, you look great. Black don't crack. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, y'all look
Like,
amazing. So I mean,
Thank you.
that's outstanding that you all
Mhm.
have children that are essentially grown people, and you look like you're just entering adulthood your own selves. So pat
Wow.
yourselves on the back for that.
hey,
Don't give it to her.
Same hand and everything. Look at that. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at the
Yeah.
synchronization.
I,
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. Now, when you did mention the children, I instantly, Ken, I thought the same thing. So this will bring me to this question: when you when you decided that you were going to start your business, what type of hindrances did you face at that time when you first started it? Because you started it so young.
Think she froze again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she froze.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is part of the
That's
So
the
live.
starting a
the
credit
18
repair
year old
company
doesn't
is
know.
fairly cheap, but however, you need a database, you need, you know, the resources, you need to be able to mail off your disputes. But not only that, you need to market so that you have clients. So when I first started Benji, I would practice on my relatives. But, it's sad to say at that time, um, even my family members didn't, credit wasn't a big thing. It wasn't. So if I asked them, hey, let me, you asking people for their social security card and their entire identity. And
Yeah.
and some of our grandmothers, right, they just really let us in the game. They really just let us in the game maybe a few decades ago. So our grandmothers didn't know credit for what. If they understood a yes or a no. That's all they understood. They
Mhm.
rectify this. Okay. You can restore this credit. So asking my relatives at a young age, right? Hey, give me your social security card and your ID. Then they didn't see the significance of what I wanted to do. So I faced those challenges. Like I said, getting people to like me, know me, and ultimately trust me. I'm new coming out, asking for people identity. So that was a major obstacle that I faced. But over time, because I was in property management, that really helped me. That made people, when people come in to pay their rent, that made people more comfortable to hear what I had to say and what I had to offer because their information was already housed in that office with me. So as I began to repair the credit, the word began to spread, and then they refer their family members and they refer, friends. And so my over time, my company grew. So that was pretty much the only obstacle was getting people to like you, know you, and trust you. So yeah.
Yeah, that's dope because I can imagine being in that space, asking people for their personal information. I
Yes.
mean, hey, people ain't super comfortable with, especially now in the days of hacking and stuff like that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that was a pretty significant challenge. But again, you overcame that. So
Getting to like you is important though too, because I got a friend that does it, and he's pretty annoying. So he lost a lot of clients because he's like his personality is annoying. So it's not even what he does; it's just who he is. So like it makes people not want to like be a part of that. So personality and getting people to like you and just being who you are is what draws people in too. So that's important because I know a couple people that came to me on the side like I ain't fooling with him. He get on my nerves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's tough because like you say, you giving people your personal information. You got so much going on out in the world today. A lot of it seems like every day somebody spamming you, trying to
Mm-hmm.
hack you, and
That
all
too.
sorts of things. Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that trust is very high on the list for your clients, and being able to connect with them and move forward with the business in that way and helping people because I think it's pretty dope the way you started and in property management and then helping people because you saw firsthand you were in a spot where people were probably getting turned down simply because they didn't have good credit, not fact that they didn't have a job and things like that, but they needed to reestablish, you know what I'm saying, their credit. So you were
Mhm.
just in the right spot to be able to help them. So that's really dope.
Yeah, definitely. And the beauty about working with Crystal Vision Credit Consulting, you don't really have to worry about lock it. Um, there are a series of security questions that you would only have those answers to. So once I get your identity and lock it, they would, when it's time to unlock it, you'll have to answer questions like, hey, what middle school did you go to? What middle school did your mom go to? So that's a secure part. I want to point out with working with Crystal Vision Credit Consultant that kind of ease my clients knowing that, okay, the identity is going to be locked. So even if they was to go to a car lot today, and they run their credit, they're going to tell them, hey, everything is locked. We can't do anything. So that's the beauty of working with Crystal Vision.
I wanted to ask this because I know that that is a concern. How do you initially, when you're repairing someone's credit, what are some of the things that they actually need to be mindful of from the beginning? I come in,
Mhm.
credit's at a 5. What are some of the things that you are teaching these people off the top, soon as they walk in?
Yeah. So we go through a credit consultation. And in this credit consultation, some people may know the basics, but listening to it from a different perspective.
It's always right at the good part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right?
We got to run it, run our question back, see if we can get it full wise.
Yeah, because this is definitely
Is it
need
like,
to know information.
oh
Right.
yeah, for sure. It's like we came, like you said, from a generation of where everybody's barely learning credit. Like
Right.
we, the parents and everybody before us was just doing whatever and messing it up.
I'm back.
Hey,
All right, all
All right.
right.
okay, we're gonna redo the question.
All right. So let's see. Can do we got her, Ken?
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
hold
Hold on just a second. I think she accidentally hit a button on her phone. There we go.
Okay, we
I'm
got.
back.
Okay, we got her back.
so so starting at the question of what should someone be mindful of. So let's say a single mom that um, you know, trying to clean her credit. She would so initially I like for you to be mindful of credit card utilization because some people think that swiping the credit card and using majority of the credit card doesn't affect your credit score. It does, right? The utilization. So ultimately that's the first thing I using 100% of the utilization when I like for my clients, and they know this if they're watching, I like for them to say between 3 and 9% when repairing credit. I don't even want you to go to 10%. I want you to stay between 3 and 9%. That is the sweet spot. From there, I teach my clients how to remain stable with credit, right? And it's so crazy because she may be watching, but I mean, literally, I brainwash my clients. Every month, we're getting on the phone, we're having consultations. And if that utilization is out of 9%, I'm beautiful. But if you want to hear me growl like a Rottweiler, okay? I say that because it is like an uphill battle, right? You want to keep the utilization low so that the credit score can grow and you can actually see the benefits of credit repair. So the main thing is keeping the utilization low. Now, let's say a person don't have a credit card. If they don't have a credit card, the next thing you need to be mindful of is making all payments on time. Late payments, people don't know this, but it costs us 100 points. 100 points. So let's say we're working together through that month. In the first month, my clients see 100-point increases, and you make the uphill battle. Yeah. So credit card utilization, if you don't have a credit card, make all payments on time. And I like for them to be in auto pay. So auto pay everything. Make sure the money is there.
Yeah, the auto pay is a good way, but I'll add, and a lot of people that I've talked to before, they're leery of auto pay. And I
Mhm.
tell people that are around me, if you're leery of auto pay, there's no real issue with it. You just need to develop a consistent way of monitoring, that auto pay, and you should be looking at your account anyway on a
Right.
regular
Definitely.
basis to
Mhm.
make sure that any erroneous charges or any weird out of whack charges that appear, you should be able to question those. And I know a lot of people don't like to look at their bank account because they like, I don't need that type of negativity in my life.
Mm.
My bank account ain't busting like that. So I don't want to see it every day. But in order for you to even hold on to what you got, you need to be at least checking your bank account in the morning and at the end of the day to
Yeah.
make
This is
sure that
true.
everything is intact and what it needs to be. Because let me tell you, hackers work quick, your
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they
stuff will be
do.
gone, and if you don't check it for a few days, that's a few days you're behind on whatever they took, and it's going to be that much harder to get it back.
At the same time, they be lying about stuff that's happening in your account. You ain't checking it, and they try to call you. I had this happen when I was in New Orleans. They called me from the bank to tell me that I was doing this and that with my account, but I had just checked my account, and I was like, "That's a lie." So, like, check your account because they was really trying to get in there.
Because
Crazy.
a lot of that happens again from not monitoring, but I learned real quick that hackers can get your account like super easy.
And
And
you always hacked.
man, I don't. I, I'm like a tortoise,
I
bro.
don't know what to say about what goes on in your life.
Man, I'm like, what the
You
heck?
better stop. You better stop answering those. I could get you $1 million right now, or or this, or he's like, this is the prime minister of Zimbabwe calling, and I'm just wanted to let you know. Benji be like, oh, yes, what can I do for you?
You
Benji, you need
can't
to call me.
Look,
hack,
girl, because Benji being hacked so many times, I don't even know what to say. Whole phone was operating on its own without him touching it.
But you
man.
Like,
know what else? You know what else? Speaking about hacks and data breaches that occurred last year, I don't know if some of you guys are AT&T phone carriers, but that
yep.
was like a data breach, right? And
Hmm.
Ticketmaster. Some of you you know, the Falcon games or concerts. Ticketmaster had a data breach. They send you a little email and say, hey, sorry that to inform you your information was exposed. And that's a strategy to dispute credit as well. So, yeah, be mindful of those letters that you receive because your information was possibly exposed. And that's a way to dispute some items off of your credit report, too. So,
So
some data breaches. You need to call me, Benji.
right. So with the data breach, how does that work in your favor if
Mhm.
you know the a data breach happens, Equifax has been data has been breached, Experian. How does that work from your standpoint to a client? How does that help the client?
Yeah, so just identity theft in itself, there are some laws that you can pair with. Hey, I think my information being compromised, and I want to reveal this. I want to say this. We think that those large credit bureaus are people like judges and sitting at the like lawyers sitting at the door. They're not. They're call centers, and it's a machine, an Oscar machine that you're just sending it through. As long as the verbiage and the dates match, you know that is kind of a shortcut to remove some things off of the credit report. So you can use this in your favor. And I love data breaches. I love when my
We got her again.
Yeah.
Come on, roll.
yeah. How do they know that Benji in Atlanta versus Benji in California?
Right.
How
See,
do they know the difference? How do they know
I
there are a
know who did
million
that
Crystal
breach.
Powells? So you make them work. You challenge them and make them work. So that is a way that you can take advantage.
Ah, oh,
Yeah, I learned
and
about that too. Yep. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that is so smart. Like,
Yeah.
legit, you got a data breach now, so
Yeah. And
I can't trust
Yahoo.
you, and therefore,
Mhm. Yahoo in 2017, that was the largest data breach ever. Have you ever had a Yahoo account? These are things that I ask my clients. Even if their mom used their information, that's identity theft. You know what I'm saying? That's identity theft. We're not going to the police about your mom, but you've experienced identity theft. You didn't initiate this account. So yeah, that tends to work in some of my clients' favor that really went through identity theft.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at
Yeah, so when your mama got the lights turned on in your name when you was three.
That Georgia Powell.
now, so I have a
Listen.
question.
Listen, let me tell you this story real quick. So I
Go ahead.
had a client, he and wanted me to look at his credit report. Great guy, he come from a great family. And so we looked at the credit report. As we going through the credit report, I'm like, you have a mortgage in your name. He was like, a what? I was like, wait, this is a mortgage. And he was like, I don't have a mortgage. I'm renting. Literally, he thought what he was doing in the middle of that and called his mom. His mom was like, we're going to talk about this later, you know? And I was like, yo, he was livid. He was like, Crystal, I have a mortgage. So back to what you were saying about checking your bank statements every day and every night, you have to check your credit report like that every day and every night. Just like you check social media, I have to call my clients out. Have you been checking your credit report like this every day? It's imperative.
And that's a real
Absolutely.
post. Like, check your credit as much as you check that social media.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my question is, so if you end up, so I'm just my son. So when I was filing taxes, they pushed it back, saying that he was carried on somebody's taxes. Now we don't have the issue of daddy carrying him because that ain't never been the thing. So somewhere in whatever he was doing with something, trying to do whatever online with games and whatever, he must have put his information somewhere. Somebody got his information. So now, I mean, he don't really do nothing much with his credit or anything, so I wouldn't know. But now, wouldn't that be like his means to be able to say some type of identity theft occurred in some type of way if anything ever popped up on his credit? I think she froze.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure just based on what she's saying, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's definitely going to qualify for an identity theft
You'll
category.
have to give these specific numbers. So that's happened to me before. But yeah, you can. That's definitely identity theft. I don't care what it is. Some inkling of something. Somebody use
yeah.
your telephone number. That's identity theft. Yep.
See.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And so we have to definitely protect our kids because we don't want them to be older and dealing with this. My daughter information basically belongs to me. She have her own financial advisor. I watch all of her statements, what's coming in, what's coming out. She's working and I require an emergency fund. So I already set up a 5-year plan. Here you go, a 5-year plan. Right. So
That's good.
you need to be debt free, an emergency fund. You need to have, do you want to purchase a house? I encourage that. I'm a real estate agent too. Do you want to purchase a house? 5, 10, 15-year financial dependence, right? Like financial independence is what I like to say. We have these meetings between me and my daughter. We sit down and we say, hey, this is the plan. She's starting a business. I build
here we go.
Yeah, she'll tap back in in a minute.
Because the question I want to go into is about the debt part of it, because I know there's good debt and then there's bad debt.
mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so I know that there's good debt and there's bad debt. So
Mhm.
what is the line when you're dealing with that, when you're dealing with a client? Is it just strictly the credit score? Somebody has a 620, but they got 4 houses. You know what I mean? Where's the line in between there when you're dealing with that part of it?
So when you're dealing with good debt and bad debt, um, let's see, let's try to explain this to the simplest form. Um, Good debt would be something like like you said, a mortgage or something, right? But it's in good standings. That's good debt, right? You think of a debt to ratio income. Um, um, s Let me see. Um, there is really no line to debt, right? There is no, line to it, right? Debt is considered debt,
Right.
right? So, um, let me see. I can't really explain that. I would have to. This is a complex question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a complex question.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too
Because
with the
debt
good.
is debt,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
basically debt.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is like you've been saying, making your payments on time with whatever debt that you do have, just make sure you're doing at least that. Because a lot of people, they get stuck paying the minimum on
Right.
credit cards, and that's not advisable. But if that's all you can do, at least do
Hmm.
that. At least do
Yeah.
that. And when you can afford to make more of a payment than the minimum, then do that, but at least make the minimum. Because I know some people, they be like, well, I can't put this much on it, so I'm just not gonna worry about it this much. No, that ain't the move.
Right.
Right, right,
you,
right.
you need to be paying something on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, then you got to make it happen, Captain. Because them payments got to be made, and you don't want that to go on your credit. Because it's crazy to me. The craziest thing that I learned when I was younger is credit score. It's so hard to raise it, but it's easy to drop it.
Man.
it's
That sounds like grades in school. They used to
Yeah,
always
it's
say it's really you get an F real quick, but it's gonna take forever to get an A once you get an F.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're younger, you don't have much of a credit score in the first place, and you don't really have credit until you start establishing it, and then you start building it, and then like you miss one payment, and then like she said, boom, 100 points. You're like,
100 points.
man, how
Yeah,
how I can't get it to go up one or 2 points. You know what I'm saying? By doing what I'm supposed to do, but if I don't do what I'm supposed to do one time, it
Yeah.
drops.
yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. But a lot of people, what I find with credit cards, a lot of people don't pay attention to the due date, the statement date, and then there is a post date. So there are 3 dates that I noticed a lot of my clients wasn't paying attention to. So coming into the consultation, I asked them to give me their credit card statement, and I give them a formula. So let's say, it's due on the 1st. Well, we don't even consider the processing time with the credit card, right? It's 3 to 4 days, right? And so that means that the credit card needs to be paid, or the payment needs to be processing by at least the 27th, the 28th, to make it on time. And then you have the statement date on the credit card where it closes, a closing statement date where, this is what we're going to report. 7 days later, they send it to the credit bureaus. This is what it's going to report. Now, some people start using their credit card after they paid it. After they paid it on time, they go back to swiping the credit card. And then this is how you see 100% utilization. So I would recommend that people pay attention to those statement dates, those 3 dates, the due date, the statement date, and the post date. So that'll help you too. And then I do recommend paying some of those credit cards twice a month sometimes. That
Right.
helps too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it as well, so you can make sure you hit the reporting date. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those dates are very important because, see, like you said, I mean, we've had guests on before that kind of talked to that point of, those dates. And that's something that's not mentioned at all, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Until you ask somebody who's very knowledgeable at it, because the credit card companies and other factions are not going to mention that to you.
No, they're
And
not.
and also people have to start paying more attention to, you get a credit card and that's great, but did you look at the percentage rate?
Exactly.
Because that percentage rate on some of these cards should definitely scare you off and
Mm-hmm.
ward you away from spending on it. Because listen, 28%, 30%, I mean 33%, like that is very high, and that will amount quick.
And paying the minimum ain't gonna help you on that, buddy.
Nah, that's like a one armed man trying to save himself from drowning.
This is true. Yep.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough one. So, but you know what? I wanted to ask you, let's say if you could say what's the worst thing, the one thing that you could do to damage your credit quickly. Is it the missing the payment, or is it, accumulating too much debt over a short amount of time? Like, what's the worst thing you could do that you advise people to stay away from?
The worst thing you can do. That was a really good question. Actually, I was thinking about that. But I think the worst thing you can do is late payments.
Mm,
And I know we make those payment arrangements sometime, but they're still having to report on the time they have to report. So it's still a late payment, right? So definitely late payments. I would say then, high utilization on your credit cards. We don't think that it lower your credit score, but it really does. It lowers the credit score. Um, yeah, getting too much credit at an early, too fast. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Now, I don't like auto loans neither, because that can people are upside down with those auto loans. It hinders you from purchasing a house. It don't help your credit score at all. I know people like think, oh, paying my credit, my auto loan on time really doesn't affect your credit score. So yeah, those auto loans, high utilization, and late payments. I tell young people to stay away from those. And for the kids that are 17 to 21 that are coming out into the world, yes, they want to drive, but this is a trap. I had to explain it to my daughter. This is a trap, right?
My
You're a
son need
new
to listen
driver.
right now because I just
Yeah.
told him this. Keep
Yeah.
going.
This is a trap. You'll get in a car accident, right? Some of the parents don't put gap on the car. Now they're responsible
Mm,
for the difference on the car. Um, no, just go the old school way, buy a cash car. Buy a
yeah,
cash car, learn about credit as much as you can. Learn about credit because that is the key. That is the key to everything. Sorry, America runs on credit. America runs on debt. What did Benji say?
yeah.
America runs on those type of things. It operates like a business. And so I teach my daughter, you have to operate like a business to
I agree. I agree. I think we lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's literally what I told my son. Like, I swear on his car, and he's like, I just want to get a car note, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like the worst it's not an investment at
yeah,
all. A car is not an investment. It depreciates immediately. It's no longer worth it as soon as you get it. I was like, so you should not get a car note because you're going to be stuck paying for it, and in a couple of years you ain't even gonna want that car. That's all of us. All
yeah.
of us.
Hit the
Literally all of us. We ready for something different by year 2. Like so there's
hit
no
the,
point.
hit the auction and find you a nice, car if your kid is just starting out type thing. And I had to learn that. I bought my first home, or before I bought, one of the first things they told me, because I just bought my brand new big, and they was like, "Hey, your car is a little bit high, so it's going to knock your value down on how much you can get for a house." And I didn't understand that at the time, and I was sitting there like, I'm thinking, hey, I just bought me a new whip, you know what I'm saying? Everything is Gucci, but no, all of it shows when it comes time to purchase a home. So the less that you have as far as the unions that you make and sending your money out, the better. Because I wasn't about to move in no shack. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
let's
and
do
that's
this.
interesting with the auto loans because in certain areas you can get away without having a car. So the education that you're giving us today and that you're giving the audience is paramount because they have to understand too, just like my son has to understand as well. He had a car that we purchased for him, that we bought, you know what I'm saying, and he was driving it, and then unfortunately he wrecked the car, and now he's in the market for another car. So yeah, it looks like the auction, things of that nature is going to be in play. And when you go to the auction, people, if you don't know cars, make sure you take your uncle or somebody else who know cars with you, so you can have an expert there that can, help eyeball certain things, because the auction is cool, but I'm telling you right now, there are some vehicles that are at those auctions that are sneaky, and they have things wrong with them, and you'll purchase a lemon, and once you bought it, you bought it.
They just trying to get that car off real quick. They put the little what is that? The liquid little stuff in there real quick to make it run a little better. I don't even know what it's called, but they be putting that stuff in there real quick to get it off.
I heard of that.
So Crystal, we talked about the debt. We talked about the credit utilization. We talked about the worst thing you can do. What are some things that you see with your clients that helps them improve their credit super fast? I think we lost her again. Oh, we lost her again.
Yeah, that's a good question right there, because I think everybody wants to know how you raise it,
Right.
because we know how to drop it.
Right. How do we get it up?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. How do we get the credit up? You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure we ain't asking how we get it up, because that, they might
Right.
be thinking about we talking about something different on this show.
Yeah.
Not this
Yeah.
episode, y'all. Not this episode.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, of course, repairing the credit, looking at some things, some erroneous items that shouldn't be there. You can remove some of those. I implement getting a credit card. So once I get the credit score to at least a 680, I have my clients apply for a credit card. And so once they apply for that credit card, although it is new credit, we pay it in we make two payments a month. So that's a fast way to do that. That helps them. I also have them look into some credit building apps. So we build off of that as well. And there are other things also that can boost the credit up, inflate the credit, of course. And those are for my clients that need to move at a faster rate.
She can't tell y'all everything because they got
That's
to
a
come
fact.
to it.
Trade lines can inflate the score. It
Right.
helps them gain access to, better interest rates on credit cards. Now they can get credit cards and, housing. Some people can close. So definitely trade lines. And I have those for my clients to, you know, move a little faster than others.
Talk to us about some of the trade lines. What are some of your recommendations for the trade lines for boosting that credit score?
Yeah, so obviously the trade line should be mature, right? Depending on the age of my client. Let's say I have a 35-year-old. The trade line should be at least let's say 10, 15 years old, right? And I find that a lot of my clients have credit cards at 50 $200 limits, right? um but once you add that history onto the credit report, that tends to help them boost it a little bit more. The amount is not necessarily important, it's the history that
Right.
the client should have had this in place already, so those credit reports can help
Yeah, I know the history is very important. The longer you have it, the consistency of paying a thing, it helps tremendously. So
Yeah, definitely. The history is a big part, and even when you look on your credit report, there is some credit reporting apps and things like that, and the actual credit report from bureaus actually has a little thing on there with your history and how long you had that account, and how long it's been in good standing. So if you've missed any payments or anything
right
like
now
that,
they can see
you
me.
know, it'll show up as well. So
right.
yeah, so credit history is huge when it comes to trying to build your score. So That also is why something else we hadn't talked about, that we need to talk about, is closing accounts.
Yeah.
Some accounts some accounts you close yourself, and some you don't. Some you can't help. Like when you pay off something, when you pay off a car, or when you pay off something like that, drops off your account, and that lowers your score as well.
It
Yeah.
does.
That lowers your score as well. And see, the credit game is crazy to me, because if you paid off your car, like you said, that it doesn't affect your it now. If you miss a payment, it will affect you negatively.
It
Right.
did.
But if you're paying on time, it does not help. And then when you pay your car off, it also does not help. It actually hurts you when it falls
Yes.
off.
And this is true. This is true.
It's crazy, man. When you start thinking about this stuff, you like, that's why I call it the credit game. It's like, I feel like credit is a virtual shell game. If you know what a shell game is, like when you go to New York, you see on the movies where those guys had those little shells or those cards, and they playing three card, I think it's three card Monty, and they switching the cards around. That's kind of how the credit game seems, because it's like it's all these little nuances and ups and downs, and things that maybe shouldn't hurt you but can, and things that should help you but don't. So that's why we have people like Crystal Powell, who has the knowledge, and
Hmm.
her company can definitely help you if you need assistance in the area, which I think most people probably do.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
definitely a strategic game. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
paying off your car, go, man, listen, that's a struggle.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
pay.
you sound like you're mad about it.
Yeah, I didn't know that at a young age, and I tell this story. Now I know this is a sidetrack, but this is always a wild story and a cautionary tale to college students, right? So I'm on college campus. I'm a freshman. I'm just excited to be there. I figure I'm ready for the world. I'm an adult. I'm adulting out here, and I get on the campus and I walk across the campus, and there's a booth, and it says free condoms. And how people wilding out in the 90s, so you feel like you just want to be prepared. So you go there and they give you the free condom. But in order to get the box of free condoms, you had to sign up for a Discover card. So
Wow.
yeah, so I mean, I'm like, man, they don't give me no credit card anyway. So oh well, let me just sign up for this and get the box and roll out. Well, signed up for it, went home at the
I,
break, and had a credit card waiting on me. $1,200 credit card, $1,200 limit at 18. So yeah, let's just say that didn't turn out well, because I
Yeah.
spent the card up, didn't know what I was doing, didn't tell my parents I had it, and they didn't know until I had almost maxed it out that I had the card. So then I had to do all this work to pay it off and to restore everything that we're supposed to go, because what I did was I never missed a payment on it, but I definitely was hitting the minimum payments.
Yeah,
bro,
see, that was
that,
they got me like that too. At 18, fresh out, getting a bank account at Bank of America and working at Macy's. And if you
Mm-hmm.
work there, you get a credit card, so you get to sign up as part of working here. And I was like, oh, okay, it's part of working here, whatever. And yeah, when I seen the credit limit, I was like, oh, I don't gotta wait till paycheck time. I can just use the credit card. Like it was a trap. It was a trap.
Yeah, because
got,
my parents. Go ahead,
hey,
Benji.
no, you live and you learn, because I think we all had our experiences with credit. The one, I'm cheap, so I don't like to spend money that I don't have. So no, I found myself in like credit card debt. But the one thing I will say is, when you start to buy cars, buy houses, get loans and stuff like that, that's when you start to realize, oh shoot, I do have to pay this back with interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, Crystal, talk to us a little bit about this part of where the interest rate can kind of hurt you financial wise. Like, the interest rate doesn't show up on your credit card, on your credit report, right? But financial, being able to pay back can hinder you a great ton, right?
Yeah, especially if you leave those balances on your credit cards. But a lot of people think of the APRs as just the interest rates. Those are other fees involved too. right? On other things, so origination fees and things like that, those are other fees involved. And I know that black and white, the things that are certain, they start talking about, we don't listen to those things because we so excited about getting the product. But the lower the interest rate, of course, for people to simplify things, the lower the interest rate, the better, right? But when you see those 28s and those 32s and things like that, people don't pay close attention to that. But I do want people to keep in mind that those APRs involve other fees as well. So carrying those balances, let's say APR is 20% on $1,000 credit card. Obviously you're going to be paying $200 interest, you know what I'm saying, over time. So you just have to be mindful of that and read that fine print. A lot of people really don't read that fine print, so that's important. And you can negotiate interest rates as well on different things. A lot of people not aware of that, so sometimes we just take what they give us, but you can definitely negotiate interest rates.
So that 1,200 ain't really 1,200. That's just, trying to
When
get
you
you.
go.
PR is going to move it up much, much, much more.
Oh yes. Oh
Hmm.
yes. Oh yes, definitely.
You got
Yeah,
that
and
couch that was $1,000, and then you realize when you're done, you spend about 4,000 on the couch when you're done
Mm-hmm.
paying for everything.
Center.
They get you.
now, now, Crystal, answer this for me. Using those as trade lines, are those good things? Like, you went to rent a center, you about to pay off your furniture, whatever. Are those considered good trade lines, or should people stay away from those?
So you said renter center.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
like,
yeah, I think he's
Renter
I would
center
confused.
use
don't
Trade
report to
lines
your
are
credit.
completely different. Yeah,
Rent a center and trade line. Help him there first. Let's start there. Let's
yeah,
let's start there.
I'm asking
Come
the
on, Benji.
Let her get you together.
right.
Okay.
Let's
So So when we talk about trade lines, there are authorized users, there are primary trade lines. The ones that I encourage are primary trade lines. Those take a little bit longer to build. Those are your credit cards that are in your name. They come in your name, right? Versus the trade lines is what we would use to put on your 18-year-old son's credit, add it and boost him up. He's just piggybacking off of the good history that we've been doing. So that's an authorized user. So those are different. Primaries, you can get them from, 2,000 all the way up to 100K. And you can purchase some of these trade lines and boost up your credit, and they stay forever. You can get authorized user where there is obviously a time, a window to go and get what you need. So I recommend them both. I say use them both to get exactly what you need. Now the rent center part, rent center don't report to your credit report, and they don't they don't report to your credit report
That's
because
why you
they'll
see rent
come knock
center
on your
knocking.
door and
That's
they'll
what I
come take
said.
your
That's why you
furniture.
see so many people have a rent center knocking. They get that furniture and they be disappearing because rent center
Yes,
need to get they need to get it together.
yes,
mm-mm. You,
yeah.
you you better be watching out because I know social media is a monster. This guy that got an employee of the month at Renaissance. 1 month he got employee of the month because he had returned he had acquired a lot of the furniture back, but they figured out that he had acquired it by ill-gotten means because he was actually going and strong arming people and basically bounty hunting these people that had the
Wow.
items, the TVs, the furniture. He was hunting them down to go so they're just supposed to go to the last known address of the
And
information
knock
that
and
they
carry on.
provided. That's it.
Mhm.
He was going above and beyond and actually asking questions of the neighbors and all these people, finding where these people were currently
Wow.
residing and still going to get the stuff. And a couple of the people, he actually brandished a weapon
Oh,
when he was acquiring these things
they done
to
for rent a center.
yeah, so he was thugging it out for Rent Center, going all out, and then he actually got picked up and actually got taken to jail when he was reported. So, and the crazy thing about it is Rent Center didn't bail him out.
I was gonna
So
say, ain't even your stuff. They ain't even look. You was doing too much,
Too
too
much.
much,
yeah,
too
so
too much. You are not rent a center himself. Sit
Okay.
down.
I
Yeah.
mean, but you can't hate on the man. The man took his job seriously.
That's that dun 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 dun, a damn snitch.
Mm.
Like, sit down.
Bro, bro was Superman for Rent a Center. Come on.
Man.
Oh, he
Yeah,
wild out
That's
here.
crazy.
Superman. I mean, Rent Center is wild, man. There was also some stories floating around. I know this has nothing to do with credit, but Rent a Center. So we get back on the topic. But Rent a Center was renting sneakers.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, they had Jordans for rent. You know what I'm
For a
saying?
grand,
For like,
for a grand.
yeah, it was no, it was like $400 for a pair. You know what I'm saying? When you broke down the payments, it was like, oh my God. So people are renting sneakers. Okay. All right. So you go pick them up and then you re-rent them out to somebody. Somebody. This is crazy stuff in the world.
That's
But
right. That wait a minute. How the repo system work on them shoes?
they go take them off your feet, I guess.
And they spray them out like the bowling alley, and they put them back on the.
Hey, people buy used shoes. People buy used sneakers
I
all the
mean,
time. There's a market
yeah,
for them.
that's
there is.
So
crazy.
yeah, it's definitely crazy. Just like
That's wild.
the credit game is crazy.
Plus
But
interest on those tennis shoes. It's not just $400. It's the interest
twelve
too.
hundred dollars now for the Jordans that didn't got
Yeah.
repoed.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy. And then you see Marcus walking down the street with your repo shoes on.
No,
And
but just think that those guys that walk around with those Air Force Ones, where those they don't want to bend them. Just imagine the comfort that he had to deal with. Like, can't bend the toes. Don't even bend your feet. Walk straight.
I'm paying on these, fam. You step on these, we got.
Listen.
You might kick for
Listen.
it, man. I got five more payments on these kicks, man.
Right.
well, I'm about to upset the sneaker world. These younger sneakerheads. If you're walking around not trying to crease your shoes and stuff like that, that means you're probably broke and you probably couldn't afford those shoes in the first place.
I
Because
mean,
real sneakerheads don't care about that. We
oh,
like the crease. We like the character in the shoe. We like to wear our shoes.
but
Not
young folks trying to impress the honeys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
nah. They
I,
gonna be impressed that you had them on your feet. They ain't gonna be looking at no
I mean,
crease.
yeah, never wearing them.
As long as you
Yeah.
keep them clean, you good. As long as you keep them clean, you good.
You
Just
just
Now,
like the credit.
yeah, because if you got some choked out shoes and they tore up and dirty too, like that's out of here. But I'm still big on I could purchase another pair of whatever pair, but I don't want them tore up. I don't want no creases.
Well, I
Like
mean,
I'm still,
the creases are gonna happen.
it's
You
gonna
wear
happen. You'll get
sneakers,
that little one, but when you
you're
got that
gonna.
like 4, 5, 6, 7 at the front, like what was you doing? Tap dancing?
That just means you're wearing them too much.
it's
That's what that
That's
means.
the that there we go. Like if
Yeah.
you
Right.
got one fine little line, like a little smile line, that's fine. That's gonna happen from putting the on and off just throughout, just even a regular step. But looking like your 95-year-old grandma on the front is not okay.
Well, to tie it back into like just like credit, maintenance on everything is essential. Just like you check your credit at the end of the day and in the morning, when you
sure.
take those shoes off, put the shoehorn back in there, put the stuffing
Yeah.
back in there,
Yeah.
maintain your shoes just like you're supposed to maintain your credit and your body.
Yeah,
It's a consistent thing with people being, I've noticed with people being disciplined. If you're disciplined in one aspect of your life, it usually carries over into other aspects too. So, the credit, and making sure that that's all good at all times. It takes a lot of discipline too, because there are
Yes.
gonna be some days where you get sidetracked, where you don't think about it, and that'll be the day that somebody hacks your stuff. So you have to be keen on it and keep an eye on it.
that
Yeah. Or even life just happening. Because a lot of my clients come to me recovering from COVID. Yeah.
That's
So
true.
life
That's
happened.
true.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this too. So you've been in business for quite a while now. So
Mhm.
when the pandemic hit, how did that affect your business?
Um, Pandemic. I didn't really do much. It really did. I took a hit. I was doing other things, but I took a hit during COVID. Um, yeah, it was horrible. I
Yeah.
want to say that it was horrible, but recovering from it post COVID was amazing. But
Okay.
yeah, during COVID, a lot of people was sick. People wasn't worried about credit reports. People wasn't worried. Everybody was so afraid. They was staying put, right? Nobody was moving. No, I mean, listen, it was terrible.
Right.
But when I say post COVID, amazing. Um, Post COVID, all these people start creating these businesses and had to build business credit. I mean, fear and all of this stuff. And some of these people created businesses and
Yeah, I think we lost her again. But yeah, I can imagine that though, because COVID, people weren't really concerned about none of that, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
No.
I look at it like that, but I also look at it like too that in COVID, people were buying a bunch of stuff too because I know a lot of people during COVID who were that's probably the most they've ever purchased,
Mm.
right? Because they ain't we weren't doing them but sitting at home and they was ordering everything, and then for a lot of people who were interested in sneakers that were around me, they got into sneakers during during the pandemic, so they started spending a bunch of money. So I'm pretty sure after that, they were needing some help with their credit, So just like Crystal said, I mean, when people were starting to come out of it, a lot of people use that time to brainstorm, to come up with business ideas and things of that nature. So they needed, assistance to get everything going and to get things lined up so they could get going. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I bet you that was a great time to be in business as well.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I
All
gained a
right.
lot of weight. I was like, good grief. I gained a
That
lot of weight.
space from the post COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people gained a little COVID pounds, but that was okay because that just means you were healthy. That just means you made it through, and that just means you didn't miss any meals while you were on lockdown.
Quarantine. Folks was quarantined in, and you could only do a few things. So I mean, hey.
That's why there's a lot
Yeah,
of COVID babies too. But yeah,
that's a
uh,
fact. That's why I was just
mhm.
say a lot of babies and a lot of big backs came out of COVID. So
Yeah, and see,
Facts.
I mean, I personally know a lot of people that during COVID, they had to do what they had to do financially, and then post COVID, they're trying to, recover credit wise and stuff too. So I can imagine how much it could boom after because there were just so many that were just like right now it don't matter, like, which was the wrong thing to say, but everybody was going through a tough time.
yeah,
But
definitely. All right. So Miss Crystal, we know you do credit, and we know we've talked extensively about that, but I wanted to also touch on, you have a business, right? So, and you mentioned real estate and things of that. So, what other industries are you involved in?
Who?
I think she froze up again.
not this thinking on the pause, like
Okay. Did you hear my question, Miss Crystal?
she
I didn't hear you. I heard BG
Okay.
singing. That was
Oh
so
no, no, no,
right.
no. Yeah, we definitely don't want to hear that anymore. I was asking what other industries are you involved in outside of credit repair?
Yeah, so I manage high rises. I'm in property management, of course. I'm a Georgia real estate agent and just the credit industry. So
Okay.
I'm a very resourceful person. Okay, I'm very resourceful. So I help people with business funding, business structuring, and business credit, all of those great things. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So you like Benji, you're a one-stop shop. You know what I'm saying? You come
Yeah.
there, you can get hooked up with everything that you need and make sure that your credit straight, make sure that you get your business in line, make sure you get trade lines and not for renter center, and make sure
Right.
you're all good at at the end of the day.
Yes.
So,
All right.
so I wanted to ask this though. With that renter center line, that is hilarious. That's gonna be hilarious. So, um, do you just operate solely in Atlanta, Georgia, or are you like in any other states when it comes to the business funding and all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm all over. I have clients in Alaska. I have clients in California. I have clients North Carolina, Florida. I have clients all over.
Yeah. All right
Yep.
now. Hey,
Yep.
business
Okay.
funding 101. I'm trying to get me about $100,000 business funding loan somewhere. So I'm trying to figure the right space to do it at. So
Yeah, everybody want $100,000 loan, but they don't even. I noticed that a lot of people don't even have a credit score. So business credit work in tiers, right? So you start at net 30s, you move on to revolving credit installments, and then you go into the business funding. So it's a tier situation. I map that out for my clients that want business credit, and we go through it month by month and then generate a credit score, get them an SBA credit score, and then we go get you funding.
yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds yeah. So the Cali folks, y'all can reach out to her. She will get you
please.
away. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. I love versatility.
Yeah.
All right. So I know we've discussed a lot today, but if you could think of one last piece of advice that you would like to leave with the people, what would that be?
One good piece of advice that I would leave with
Anything you
everyone:
want to share?
keep God first.
That's all right.
That's
That's
my
all
Hey, there
right.
piece
we
of
go.
advice.
That is all right.
Keep
That's
God.
a
Okay.
that's a lift your hands moment. That's a lift your
That
hands moment.
is that look.
Anything is possible with Him. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, definitely. So we appreciate you coming through and blessing us with the
Thank
gems
you.
and bless us with this information. Before we get up out of here, we want to make sure that we give you an opportunity to let them know where to find you on social media and let them know how to reach you. And hopefully somebody will sign up for your services.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully, you guys took some great gems away from this. Just gave you tidbits and bits, but there's plenty of more information and knowledge that I have access to. You can find me on social media, which is Facebook. You can type in my name, Crystal Powell. And you would see me there looking all fancy and beautiful. You can also find me on IG, and it's Crystal Vision Credit Coaching. And you would see my logo, which is CV, and it'll give you access to my website and my telephone number.
Yeah,
All right. That's what's up. And again, we appreciate you coming and blessing us with this information
Thank
because
you for having
we
me.
definitely need it. The world needs it. And people can't say that we didn't tell you and we didn't try to help you because we definitely did today with this great information. So we appreciate you definitely for sure, for sure.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Trish Michelle, talk to the people. Let them know something before we get up out of here.
Um, but you know what? Go on the website and pull up your credit. Like it's free. Pull up the credit report. Check out your credit. Invest in your credit. Even though people, I'm not trying to buy a house, whatever it is, but still, just let's change the narrative. Let's change
right.
what exists very, abundantly in our culture.
Yes.
And if you do have kids, that's all the reason to, figure out your credit so that you can go ahead and teach them it. So even if it's you don't plan on doing anything with yours or whatever, because you fix it and learn about it so you can teach it to yours so that they, as they're growing up, can not go through the same things that are we watched our parents go through or stuff like that. So education is fundamental, and of course it never was taught to us or given to us, especially financial literacy. So we got to go get it. So it's people like Crystal that can go ahead and teach us. So reach out, ask the questions, and get the help. And where
Thank
can you
you.
find me? Trisha Michelle underscore TM on Instagram, on YouTube, all over the place. Let's see. Oh, what is that other thing? TikTok. I'm on there too. And then Fiyah Session. You follow Fiyah Session, you can find me there too.
Yeah.
Facts, facts, facts. All right. Benji Banks, the man, the brand. Talk to the people.
Man, listen, great information. We try to give you guys as much positive information as possible with a few laughs and so forth. But we love getting these dope content pieces. So continue to listen, man. If you ain't listen. The real hustle in America is having a business and having your credit score together so that you can take advantage of these tax breaks. Listen, buying a house, all of these types of things, you don't know how important they are until you get it, and then you realize you can write everything off. Write off your interest on your house. If you're having meetings at your house, you can write those, like you name it. You can write all of those things off. So it's important and imperative that you kind of get yourself squared away and get yourself in a solid spot so that you can take the real advantage. I know cash, people say cash is king. But listen, to be able to write off everything you spend essentially is a real W out here. And so I encourage anyone to get yourself in that space so you can start doing that. Y'all know where to find me. You can find me at my beauty supply. Stay tuned for the grand opening. Stay tuned for the new products that we're rolling out. You can find me building the band, building the choir at my church. You can find that. You can find me on social media, Benji Banks. You can't miss me. Although people still be trying to hack my page, man. I don't get it, man. Why somebody want to steal me?
Because now you think it's the Black Pope messaging you. I'm just saying.
Listen, Black Pope, if we get this African Black Pope, I'm telling you, I'm going to do the Crip Walk. I'm telling you.
He about to tell you he needs to just wire $2 million to your account, $2 billion, and if you just allow him to do so, he would invite you into the Vatican or wherever else. I don't know. And then he gonna also make sure that everyone else in your home is wealthy. And then all we know is your page is gone. Man, so just don't give in.
Well, he said he building the choir, building the band at church. You know what I'm saying? The last person who we know was building bands was Diddy. So,
Oh wow.
you got to be careful with that.
Ain't be out here making no bands now. You're putting together a musical
island.
You gotta say it different.
Yeah. Stick with the blessing oil, not the baby oil. It's a difference. It's a difference.
Man, listen. I love y'all, man.
Now he got pages hacked, accounts hacked, and baby oil. Benji.
It's a struggle on my end, Crystal.
I see. Benji.
Dude, you get just have guests on the show. They don't even try. They don't even try to like be cordial. They throwing balls. So these my folks, man. But again, man, y'all can find.
We are nice.
And man. I'm good, man. It's this smile is here permanently. So
did you even tell people where they could find you? Because I'm still doing your exit speech.
Listen, man, these Negroes know where to find me. I ain't finna keep it. You know what?
The beauty supply store is all I heard.
I'll spend some money. Listen, I appreciate y'all because y'all pulled up like a mug for pre-Easter. Y'all, we be hitting record-breaking days. I see why businesses went to the Christmas stuff, the Easter stuff, St. Patrick's Day. Y'all spend money on these.
You gotta always have the sale for the holiday, like the Easter day, because everybody gets their hair done for the holidays. So you gotta do the sale before, a couple days before, leading into, and then
a week. We ran a whole week.
Yeah, exactly.
From Monday through Saturday, we ran a whole week of discounts. And
you know how many people get last minute hairdos and last minute hair appointments and need to last minute get some stuff, and they want to spend less because they didn't spend all the money on the baskets for these ungrateful kids.
Facts.
They need you.
And
mentioning the sale, I'll be running a credit repair sale. So visit my Facebook for that flyer.
Y'all better follow her to see it.
It's a birthday sale. It's all the way up until my birthday. So I'm giving back on my birthday. So look out for that credit repair sale.
She giving y'all good credit on her birthday.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And the children, you know what I'm saying? They need their hair done too. So, and they need their credit fixed too. Believe it or not.
They do.
They might if
I
they
give discounts to 18-year-olds. Yeah, I give discounts to the young adults.
See, there you go. See, we didn't get to that information, and we just did because folks be putting their name on the light bill. So you know what I'm saying. be safe out here. But y'all know where to find me. In banks, y'all know where to find me. Social, all over the place. I ain't no different than else.
Facts. Well, we appreciate y'all for giving everybody all this good information and these lovely outros. Y'all know y'all can find me at Big Ken on all social media platforms. Just type in Big Ken, type in Big Ken on Fire as well. I'll pop up there. I got a lot of profiles. I'm trying to be all over the place. Y'all know y'all can catch the Fiyah Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH Session and we'll pop right up. Most importantly, though, make sure you go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that bell notification. So every time we go live, every time we post a clip, every time we post anything, you'll be notified so you don't miss out on this great information and this great entertainment that we provide y'all with each and every week live to allow y'all an opportunity to ask questions that sometimes otherwise you don't have access to these people, especially without paying money. But you know what? You want more information from Crystal? You gotta pay the piper. You gotta pay money now. So we gave you what you gave you, and we're gonna roll out. So y'all already know we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll see y'all on the next live episode, the Fiyah Session. Peace.
Salute.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.